What's up, everybody? Ante here, CroatianSports.com. After Croatia's 2-0 ass whooping of France at Poljud in Split in the first leg of their Nations League quarterfinals. Absolutely amazing, phenomenal game from the Vatreni, from Dalic to Modric to Perisic to all the personnel they put together. That was a near perfect game and perfect start to 2025 after a disastrous 2024. 2024 was probably one of the worst years in Croatian footballing history, for me at least, where we laid a huge goose egg at Euro 2024, start the tournament down 3-0 to Spain, give up a late equalizer in injury time versus Albania, and then we do the exact same thing the next game versus Italy to knock us out. But that was an absolute disastrous 2024, and I was very interested to know how Dalic and the players were going to start 2025 against, a top-ranked France team in the world who has household names around Europe in Mbappe, obviously, and Dembele. But a near perfect game, and it was a perfect game because we have the services of man of the match, prime time. Ivan Perisic is back. The dude is 36 years old. Perisic is 36 years old. He's coming off a knee surgery. He's coming off a season where he should have been playing for Hajduk in the HNL, and he's still ripping Champions League goals for PSV right now. And tonight against France, he had a first half goal and assist in a 2-0 win, and just bravo to you, Ivane, in front of the Poljud faithful. Bravo. This is important for a couple reasons. This team, this Croatian team that we have loved to watch, and we've spent so many great summers together watching them, goes how Ivan Perisic goes the past decade. Perisic does something special that no one's been able to do for us, especially in the past 2 years because Dalic hasn't played with wingers, but he spreads the field wide. He takes on defenders one-on-one, and then on top of that, when he gets into the box, he can put in perfect crosses and perfect shots. Exhibit A and B, he had a perfect cross to Budimir tonight, and Budimir heads home that opening goal. And then Perisic had absolutely no business with that shot in the French box from 18 yards out and bangs it in far post to make it 2-0. So this team goes as Perisic goes, and what that means is look what we did the past 2 years without Perisic while he was injured, while he was rehabbing. Dalic was basically playing a 4-5-1 with no wingers. Remember we were saying, throw in Piazza, throw in Marko Pasalic, throw in any pure winger just to spread the field and spread the field, and take on defenders one-on-one. We didn't do that. We threw in a bunch of number 8s and number 10 cams like Baturina, like Sucic, like Vlasic, with Kovacic, Modric, Pasalic, all those guys. And all we do is kick the ball up and then kick it back. And that's all we did for like 2 years. And it was frustrating. If we can get this Perisic to stay like this going into the World Cup for another 15 months, we are golden. So we are lucky. We are so lucky that Modric is still the engine of this team. But I've always said this: we go as Perisic goes, and he's the transmission that kind of runs everything and kind of sets the tone. So, Perisic with a wonderful goal, a wonderful assist, and I've said this for years. It doesn't matter who you play as the number 9 striker up there. It doesn't matter if it's Matanovic, Petkovic, Budimir, Ivanovic now. It doesn't matter because they haven't had the ability to get service from the wings, and the only guy that's been doing that for the past 5-6 years is Perisic. So, bravo to you, Ivan. I can't stress that enough. I wrote you off coming off a knee injury, going to the HNL to Hajduk last year. I thought you were donezo. You proved me wrong. I apologize. You're 36 years old. You're in that same bucket as Modric, as growing as a fine wine. And you know what, guys? With that goal tonight against France, Perisic is only 11 behind Šuker. Is he going to get to 45, which is the Croatian record with Šuker? Šuker did 45 goals in 69 matches. Probably not, but Perisic is on the radar. If he can have a healthy year, can he bag another 5-6 goals? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Um, Around there. Um, we have a huge game on Sunday in Paris, in France. We're up 2 goals. This is all a home and away aggregate. Is it over? Absolutely not. Don't think we're in the semifinals of Nations League or anything like that. But I'm very happy how we played today. I'm very happy that Dalic picked the Croatian Sports starting 11 lineup that our very own Marcus lined out a couple days ago. That was all Marcus. He said we have to go back to four in the back. We'll put Guardiola at left back. We have to play Budimir as the number 9. And then, you can't play that midfield trident like we did with Brozovic, Kovacic, and Modric. So I'm happy with Modric and Kovacic anchoring the midfield, but it's nice to see Baturina, Kramaric, and Perisic running around behind the striker. So I'm very happy with Dalic's lineup. I haven't said that in quite some time, but we have to figure out how we're going to get this wing play with speed down the line for the next couple of years. And that's a huge takeaway for me. Everyone had a perfect game today against France. Everyone had a perfect game against Kramaric. I mean, Livakovic, great saves. Gvardiol was an absolute beast on defense. If he mistimes a couple of those balls, it's a penalty on Dembele and Mbappe in the box. Gvardiol was a 10 out of 10 tonight. Šutalo, DCC, fantastic center back pairings. No issues with them. And then Stanisic did what he had to against Mbappe. I'll say this about the French attack. They weren't on tonight. They weren't on. They should have easily scored a goal or two. They were definitely off. So expect them to be hungry in Paris come this Sunday. But I'm happy with Kovacic and Modric in the midfield. They were a little quieter today, but I'm happy with their performance. They did what they had to do. Budimir. We've been praising his name to start up top. And like I said, he got proper service tonight from Perisic. And look what happened. A goal with his head. The dude has 15 goals in La Liga for Osasuna this season, 7 from the penalty spot, but eight goals from open play, and you know what? And most of them come from his head. So if Budimir can get service in the box, he's going to be dangerous, guys. He's going to be dangerous. We talked about Perisic, Baturina with a quiet game, but he's still young. It's going to be interesting to see how he does with Petar Sucic and Luka Sucic when they come back. All three of them together. Luka's hurt right now, but the only kind of gripe I have 2 gripes. Kramaric, bad game, bad start to the game. That was an awful, awful, awful penalty kick that he took. It wasn't even a Panenka. If it was a Panenka, it would have floated over the goalie. But he kind of just passed it down the middle. So not a great start to the game, and then he looked a little lost after that. And one other gripe I have with Dalic and Modric and the boys, stop with the short corners. Put the ball in the box. Let your tall guys like Gvardiol, like Chaleta like Budimir, let them go after the ball. Stop with these short corners. We've never scored from a short corner. Stop doing it. And those are my 2 gripes. But look, absolute perfect start to 2025 after an absolute shit 2024. I mean, what a fantastic start. We still have 90 minutes to play in Paris on Sunday, but all's looking good. No one picked up a yellow today, so I'm happy about that. The only other thing to take into account is Spain scored a last-second equalizer in the Netherlands tonight, so that game finished 2-2. Croatia, if they get through and pass France, they would play the winner of Spain, Netherlands in a one-game semifinal in June in the Nations League semifinals. So that's something to keep an eye on. The Dutch were in control the whole second half. I'd much rather play the Dutch, obviously. But that game ended 2-2, and they're going back to Spain on Sunday. So all to play for. I'm very happy with our performance. I'm giving us a solid A tonight. The only thing I hated was the Kramaric penalty and the short corners. But we were beasts defensively. We were on the ball. Gvardiol was defensively what he was at the 2022 World Cup, so I'm very happy with him. But man, oh man, we need to be singing the praises of Ivan Perisic. Goal and assist in the first half against France. He's been hot for PSV. He scored 3 goals in his last 4 Champions League matches. The guy is cooking. Let him cook. He's our savior right now, and if he stays healthy and can do what he did tonight against France for the rest of 2025 going into 2026, we're going to be in good shape, guys. We're going to be in good shape. All right. See you all Sunday. Ante Kvartić, CroatianSports.com. Love you all.